Welcome to Northeast Tonight. The Political Affairs Committee of the Nagaland government held a consultative meeting with prominent Naga civil society groups and tribal bodies on September 12th in a fresh attempt at finding an inclusive solution to the long-drawn Naga political issue. The meeting adopted 4 resolutions, the most significant being the appeal to the Government of India to elevate the ongoing Naga peace dialogue and the peace process in general to the highest political level by appointing an interlocutor of the political/ministerial level who has the confidence and mandate of the Government of India. Another important resolution has been the appeal to all Naga political groups and workers to refrain from any further factionalism, formation of breakaway groups, or formation of new groups. Now, several questions arise. Will the appointment of a ministerial level interlocutor, assuming that the Government of India does so, make groups like the NSC and IM modify their insistence on a separate flag and constitution for the Naga people? One is specifically pointing out the demand for a separate flag and constitution because the NSC and IM has described this as their core issue and had said rather categorically that they will not be able to sign any possible accord without the Government of India conceding these 2 demands. The Political Affairs Committee has members who belong to Chief Minister Nafi Rio's Council of Ministers, legislature party leaders of all political parties in the current Nagaland Assembly, and the lone Lok Sabha MP from Nagaland who belongs to the Congress party. Again, the question is, how much of a clout could the PAC have in convincing the NSC and IM to move forward and break the stalemate? If we are referring to the NSC and IM, it is only because the other group, that is the NNPGs, have made it very clear that the negotiations for them has ended and that they are ready to sign on the dotted line in accordance with the agreed position that they reached with the Government of India in 2017. To discuss whether the new initiative is going to break the deadlock and give a fresh momentum to the Naga peace process, I have with me a very eminent panel tonight. Nagaland Cabinet Minister Mr. Temjen Imna Along is joining me from Kohima. Also joining me is Dr. Rosemary Zuvitsu, Advisor Naga Mothers Association and co-convener of the Global Naga Forum, a well-known academic and activist. I also have with me NPF leader Mr. Ajo Nenu and Mr. Chuba Azukum, convener of the Global Naga Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very, very important discussion. Let me go straight to Mr. Temjen Imna Along, the Nagaland government spokesman and Minister for Tourism. Mr. Temjen Imna Along, first of all, welcome to this edition and thank you for your time. You see, I mean, like the Political Affairs Committee has taken 4 important resolutions. As I said, one of them is to make an appeal to the Government of India to elevate the talks at the highest level and appoint an interlocutor who is at a ministerial level. Now, my question is, do you consider it as a fresh attempt, and has there been no interlocutor so far?
Brother Wasbir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
First of all, namaste to all of you, and also to Brother Chuba Uzkam, my elder brother, and Madam Rosemary Ji, and also to Uku Azo. First of all, it's not a fresh attempt. The government of the day, led by the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Nafi Rio and all the legislators, have been a very assertive facilitator to the Naga political issue. See, Wasbir ji, for the rest of the country and the many states, it may not be a very important issue. But for the people of Nagaland and the Nagas, it is the most important issue. The Naga people have been assured by the central leadership for the first time by Shri Narendra Modi ji, the most visionary leader of the government of India, and Shri Amit Shah ji, the strongman of the government of India, towards finding a sustainable settlement to the Naga political issue.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Yeah.
The present government,
Carry on, please. Carry on.
led by Honorable Chief Minister, where we are a part of the NDA government, led by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, we believe that there will be a settlement very soon.
All right. I'll come back to you, Temjen. These are your opening remarks. Let me bring in Dr. Rosemary Dzuvitsu. Dr. Rosemary Dzuvitsu, how do you see this attempt by the Political Affairs Committee? Earlier, the government initiative was to talk to the stakeholders, that is the NSC and IM and the NNPGs first. And if possible, they used to discuss with the civil society and tribal bodies. Now, what has changed, what we have seen from outside, what we see at a bit of a change is that first they are talking to people like you, groups like yours. 37 organizations participated in that consultative meeting. Now, do you see it as a fresh push? Temjen Imna Along said that this is not a fresh attempt. How do you look at this initiative?
Wasbir, I don't know whether I'm the right person to be talking because I missed the consultation, being on a trip to Delhi. But I think the initiative of the Political Affairs Committee is much welcomed by all of us who have been following the peace process with much concern. We also need to remember that this is not a Naga political issue, it is the Indo-Naga political issue. You see, and therefore, it is important to understand with what kind of issues the ongoing talks have been stuck with, like you had mentioned earlier. And the main question is going to be, even if we have an interlocutor, we do have an interlocutor, we have had successive interlocutors in the past, even if we do have someone from the ministerial level, how serious is the government of India going to take it? Because we need to remember the core issues which have been laid out by the NSC and IM on the flag and the constitution, which for me, I think on many occasions I have said that it is doable and it is nothing new, even for the Indian government, because we've had states that have had their own flags. We've had Kashmir, of course, now no longer, but with its own constitution, and therefore I think we may face certain problems. I'm playing the devil's advocate.
Right. Absolutely. But the point that Dr. Rosemary Dzuvitsu is saying that it is doable. It is doable. Let me bring in Mr. Ajo Neno before coming to Mr. Chuba Uzukum. Mr. Ajo Neno, I mean, like, how do you think, are you convinced that now the Political Affairs Committee, after this meeting with the 37 organizations, the consultative meeting, has demanded that the talk should be taken at the highest political level? Now, they demanded that an interlocutor of a ministerial level should be appointed. Now, do you see that is going to make a difference? Because we had a governor as an interlocutor in the past. We had a governor as an interlocutor in the past. apart from senior officials from the government of India, like the IB directors, former IB directors were interlocutors at some point of time in the past. But how is it going to make a difference? Because do you agree, first of all, that the stalemate now is because the NSC and IM has said that there has to be a separate flag and constitution?
First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me again. I also welcome all the other panelists, my friends. First of all, Wasbir, you must know, Nagas are hopelessly divided, be it the overgrounds or the undergrounds, or national workers, whatever you call it. But now, Naga political issue is above all issues. So when it comes to Naga political issues, all the Nagas are united, because this is the issue, this is an issue above all issues.
Right.
Now, as you stated, the House felt that appointing a union cabinet minister as an interlocutor will be better, because this Naga political issue is a political issue. And so therefore politicians will understand the core values of the issue better, and therefore they will take it up more seriously. That is what we feel. Now coming to NSN-IM's demands for flag and constitution, I think we have to make them understand, because all their demands also are taken into account. So it is how they understand the issue. Because now, if we want to take this issue outside the framework of the Indian Constitution, then it will not work. For me also, I'd like to only talk about sovereignty. I am for sovereignty. But looking at all the turmoil, the problem that is going, I feel that I should compromise something. Or else you must understand, my CPO stand, that is my tribal stand, Chakasang Public Organizing stand, is for sovereignty alone and nothing else. We stand by NNC and plebiscite. For our NPF stand, we also stand for a solution that is acceptable, honorable, and inclusive. But when you take all this into account, it is next to impossible. So somehow we have to also come down to a meeting point. That's why we feel that today, if Nagas really want something, a solution or a settlement, we should compromise something. That is what we came to an understanding.
Right. Now, let me go to you, Mr. Chuba Uzukum, the convener of the Global Naga Forum, former leader of the Naga Ho-Ho. Mr. Chuba Uzukum, you were present at the consultative meeting. Now, my question is, first of all, Nagaland has a party-less, opposition-less government, not party-less, opposition-less government. And opposition-less government, the decision was taken only to give a fillip to the Naga peace process. Because as Mr. Azonono said, Nagas are hopelessly divided, but when it comes to the Naga issue, they are united. And that is reflected in the decision of all the political parties to have an opposition-less government. And now, you have demanded that a union cabinet minister should be the interlocutor. But what can the interlocutor do? Because now the government of India, the ball is in the court of the government of India. That's what you are going to say. But don't you think that the NSC and IM also has a potential? Do you think they have the potential to revise their demand, to modify their demand a bit?
Good evening, everyone. I think I am audible, Wasbir?
Yes, you are audible. Yes.
Okay. Thank you once again, Wasbir, for having me in your show this evening. In the first place, I will also agree with Yamna Along when he said that this time is not a fresh move. Government of Nagaland in the past, when there was opposition also in the Legislative Assembly, both the ruling and the opposition they were having a separate political affairs committee, and their best intention and their interest was to push for the Naga political problem and the settlement. Coming back to this, then, after the formation of the present government, which was formed in 2023, all the 60 members have been claiming that they have formed this oppositionist government to bring into Naga political settlement. I think it's now 1.5 years after the formation of the present government that for the first time they have also convened the Naga consultative meeting few days back, and for which I think all the civil societies and the different tribe hosts, they were very much happy. And on my part also, I should appreciate for taking such initiative by the state government. Only thing is, since this oppositionist government was formed just to bring the political settlement and then to focus particularly on this Indo-Naga political problem, I think it's high time that they should also try to do with their best interests, and then this should be implemented in, later in spirit.
Okay.
Coming back to the resolutions adopted by the consultative meeting, I think other resolutions are not very important, but in one of the resolutions it says that the Nagaland government will push their agenda to appoint somebody who can be a union minister or under ministerial level. Same exists. But it's not very clear to me, because you see, now we have different political groups. One side is innocent Naim, 7 innocent, and still there are also some groups who are yet to make ceasefire or join the political dialogue. So this one, whether they are talking about the political dialogue between innocent IM in the government of India or which group? Because again, if we are to analyze all this, now there is no bone of contention between 7 NNDJs and the government of India. After the signing of the agreed position, both the parties are ever ready to sign the agreement. There is no misunderstanding, no controversy on all the issues, all the points. So this resolution was adopted whether to continue the political dialogue between government of India and the innocent IM with somebody, the interlocutor, who can be a union minister or not. That is what I've been thinking.
Okay. I'll have to go for a break, but quickly I'll bring once again Mr. Temjen Imna along. Mr. Temjen Imna along, now the Political Affairs Committee has adopted this resolution. Now you will wait for a response from the Government of India. But now, is it likely that the Political Affairs Committee, a team from the Political Affairs Committee, is it likely that you are going to go to New Delhi, meet the Union Home Minister and place the resolutions officially and try to expedite the matter? Is there any such plan, or you will wait for the Government of India's response now? Because by asking for a ministerial level, union ministerial level interlocutor, the Nagaland government has shifted the ball to the centre's court. Are you going to wait for the response, or are you going to make some proactive measures?
Brother Wasbir, Do you want to hear me now or after the break?
I can hear you now.
Yes, Brother Wasbir. See, first of all, I'm not being diplomatic, but very thankful for Northeast Life. You know why? Because in the Northeast, there is no other channel other than Northeast Life that takes into consideration the issues of the Northeastern people, and the most important being the Naga political settlement.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the compliment.
Thank you to your channel and to you for that. Secondly, you know very well that I am a BJP worker and a Karyakarta. But I'm also a Naga and a very proud Indian. I want to put it on record that the Political Affairs Committee, under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Nefirio and all the 60 legislators, the decision taken and in the consultative meeting to have a cabinet level interlocutor is genuine.
Right.
Because the Naga political settlement issue is the most important issue to be dealt with for the Naga people. You know very well, Brother Wasbir, that when I spoke in the assembly last tenure about what Honorable Home Minister Shri Amit Shah has said with regards to no flag and no constitution, and I relate it. In the assembly, in the August assembly, every Naga leader in the assembly understood but could not be resonated positively. But today, Nagas want a settlement. I concur with my Uku, my Uncle Azo. I concur with Madam Rosemary. I concur with my Uncle Chuba. We may have different ideologies, but the Naga political issue is very important. We may be in different political ideologies, but the issue of the Naga political issue should not be dragged along for too long. And it's the oppositionless government which you are saying. It's a unique government, which means that the unique Naga people need a unique settlement. My Uncle Azu has said very clearly that his party and his community goes with the issue in the Palisibet and also with sovereignty, but he also concurs with the idea that there need to be a settlement.
Right.
Why? We also want, as a people, to progress, to prosper. So, the government of India, under the most visionary leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji, only can give this settlement.
All right.
Leave about ideological issues for the Nagas. We will work together, Wasbir ji. We will work together. Whether it's NSNIM, whether it's NSNU, and NNC, we can work together. and allow the government of India under this visionary leadership
Right. Okay.
to
Temjan,
make these few Nagas prosperous, happy, and to be in the mainland.
absolutely. I'll once again come to you. Very important point. Mr. Temjan Imna Along has said that demand for a cabinet level interlocutor, cabinet minister level interlocutor is absolutely genuine. Ideological differences are there, but as far as the Naga issue is concerned, the Nagas are united and it's the most important issue. I'll go for a short break. Don't go away. When I come back, I will take a response from my esteemed panelists on what Mr. Temjan Imna Along and Mr. Ajon Nenu had said. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Welcome back. I'll go to Dr. Rosemary Zubitsu. Dr. Rosemary, in your active role as an activist, as a facilitator, as a close observer of the Naga political issue for so many years now, my question to you is that, honestly, are you hopeful that, changing an interlocutor, making a cabinet minister the interlocutor, do you want the government of India should urgently once again resume the dialogue and work on this, instead of starting afresh, work on these two demands for a flag and constitution? But there is at least one instance of the government of India at the highest level saying that there can be no flag and no constitution, and that means they're ready to give everything else except the constitution, particularly. The flag also the government of India is willing to give for use in cultural programs and so on. So we are stuck at this point, isn't it? We are stuck. Where is the forward movement?
Wasbir, for all of us who have been following the peace process, I think this latest move is welcome. Why not? If there's a possibility, like the Honorable Minister has said, of the union minister or of a union ministerial level, a leader, stepping into the negotiations, perhaps that would be much better than a home ministry official, or even at that point of time, the governor of Nagaland coming in as the interlocutor. The way forward, it really depends on the team that is actually negotiating at the table. And I think what is expected with all of us, particularly the civil society, as well as the government itself, is that it is very important to have more dialogues with the NSE and IM that has taken a very strong stand with regard to the flag and the constitution. For people like us, the flag is actually of not such a great problem. I don't know if you're aware of it, if you have covered the event, but this year's 14th August observation of the Naga Independence Day, which is held all over Nagaland, was different from all other years because there were hundreds and thousands of Naga flags flying all across the state and just next even to the Nagaland Secretariat. So in the process, in the days ahead, what do we look at? I think that's why I talk about possibilities. And you must remember, I'm also an academic. And I like to believe that the BJP also has many intellectuals, policymakers, people who are aware of how peace settlements have come about and of how negotiations have taken place. And therefore, Government of India also must not underestimate the Nagas. This is something I've always held on, that they must not underestimate the Nagas and our knowledge also of world politics and of how possibilities are there as far as even the flag and the constitution are concerned. And
Right.
also not underestimate also an armed group like the NSC and IM. I think I'm going to take that kind of a stand.
I think this is a very, very clear-cut stand. Let me bring in both. I want to take a reaction to that from both Mr. Temjan Imna Along and Mr. Ajon Nenu. First, let me go to Mr. Ajon Nenu. Mr. Ajon Nenu, Yes, that's a very interesting point which Dr. Rosemary Zuvitsu has said, and in a different manner by Mr. Temjian Imnalong. Now, you know, if you have a ministerial level interlocutor, since it's a political dialogue, it is only fitting to have a political leader as an interlocutor. Since we are calling it a political dialogue, it should be, interlocutor should be a political person, somebody who's senior enough, who understands, experienced enough, who understand the nuances of the Naga political problem, the sentiments of the Nagas and so on. So, do you think, Mr. Ajo Nenu, that if the central government heeds to this political affairs committee's discussion with the 37 organizations from all over Nagaland and the Naga areas, do you think that is going to remove the trust deficit? Because a trust, first of all, a trust is necessary between the two sides to negotiate.
I think you did not hear my first statement. I already told you that Naga political issue is a political problem. Therefore, the House felt that appointing a union cabinet minister with will be a political figure, will understand the core values of the issue better, and will take this Naga political issue forward. That is what I gave you in my first statement.
Will this remove the trust deficit?
Yes, of course, 100%. And this time around, Mr. Wasbir, PAC, headed by the Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Nipurio, is somehow in the right direction. Because you see, in the first instance, PAC had a meeting. The second meeting, we decided to call the PCC. PCC was called. Now after that, the PCC decided that all CSOs and NGOs should be called, and therefore the latest meeting on 12 was with the CSOs and NGOs. Right. And there we have advised the PAC that the next meeting we should call all the national workers working group. That is 25, 26 groups. Now, when 25, 26 groups are called, we have to discuss threadbare. We have to be bold enough to spill the beams. There are only 5 groups under ceasefire, and only 5 groups, or around 7 groups, are in the negotiating party with the government of India. Now the rest of the groups, what do we do with them?
I need a clarification. I need a clarification. Mr. Ajo Nenu, you said that, you know, the next move of the Political Affairs Committee will be to hold a meeting with 25 Naga groups.
25 to 26 Naga groups. How much there is?
So, even if you are calling all those groups, including those who are not in ceasefire, right?
Right.
So
that's why.
Have you
that
fixed
is what
the date?
We have advised the PAC. Whether they take our advice or not, we do not know. But here, we have to thresh out something.
Who advised the PAC? Who advised the PAC?
That was my advice to the PAC.
Oh, your personal advice to the PAC?
Yes. In the meeting, I have advised them that we should call the 25, 26 groups. We should take them into confidence. And now we should tell them the truth. It's time to spill the beans.
Mr. Ajo Nenu, if you have to invite all the 26 groups, including several of the groups who are not in ceasefire, that means you have to give them a safe passage to come for the meeting.
No, that's why the government should take care. Now, what do we advise them? Our advice to them is you join the 5 groups which are in ceasefire, or the government has to ban the other groups. They cannot continue like this. The government has to take action. It's either they join other groups or the government bans all the other groups.
Okay.
Then only talks can be successful.
Right. Let me go to Mr. Temjian Imnalong. I'm coming to you, Mr. Chuba Ozukom, in a minute. Give me a minute. Mr. Temjian Imnalong, that is a very significant suggestion which Mr. Ajo Nenu has said that he has personally given to the PAC. Whether the PAC accepts his suggestion, we don't know. But yes, he has a point. Okay, you are having political discussions with the NSC and IM and the 7-member NNPG, but there will be 20 other groups or maybe 19 other groups who are not on ceasefire. That means tomorrow if you sign an accord, there will still be problem in Nagaland. So it's a very important thing. There's need to bring all the groups together. Either they join the ceasefire groups, or Mr. Ajoneno is saying the government should take a firm stand.
Big brother Wasbirji, let me be very clear on this issue. My uncle Azo, my senior, he has made a statement which is relevant according to what he has said. We are not contradicting. But brother Wasbir, if not now, when can we get a settlement? When we have a leader like Shri Narendra Modi ji, who is visionary for the idea called Bharat, where he knows every issue of the Northeast, and also Nagaland as one, and also when we have the senior most chief minister of this country, Shri Nefiu, who is resilient to the Naga political settlement. He is working with all of us together. It's not to please anybody. Why don't we appoint a cabinet minister who understands, or Hemanta Biswas Dangoria ji, the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam? Not to please him, but he understands the Northeast problems. See, bureaucracy, no offense against any bureaucrats, but bureaucracy only follow the leader. Rules are there, कानून होता है, but to bend it, तोड़ना नहीं है, to bend it, वो करना पड़ेगा. And when we know that there will be not a flag or a constitution, then today, after ceasefire, see what my honorable MLA and senior Uncle Azu has said. We are divided, but not divided for any other issue. They may have their personal issues, but 26 groups in Nagaland, Nagas are suffering. Big brother Wasbirji, let it be taken into cognizance that the Naga public are suffering, the Naga people are suffering. How many tax collection, how many whatever we have to go through. I may not be an MLA tomorrow, it's okay. But even Uncle Chuba who's come, Madam Rosemary, Uncle Azo, all of us, we stand for our people. We cannot take it into consideration that there cannot be a settlement.
Right.
We want Delhi to hear our voice, Brother Wasbir.
Yes, it is very, very.
Whether it is Wasbir ji, whether it is Baba Muiva, the big brother, or Uncle Khitovi, they have to come together for the sake of the Naga people.
It is a
and all these
big
25,
statement.
26 groups which are going around here and there, tomorrow I may be in the wrong foot, but Naga issue is greater than any personal issue or any group issue.
Right, very big statement.
Brother
by
Wasbir, I'm not quarreling with you.
No, I know. Very important statement.
The government of the day is working hard. 60 legislators, no opposition. People think it's a drama. It's not a drama. We want a settlement for the Naga people.
Right.
And there is no other forum bigger than this Political Affairs Committee, Big Brother Wasbir.
I take your point. A very important statement by
We also
Mr.
try to-
Temjin Imna Along. He said that Delhi must listen to the voice of the Naga people. That is a very big statement. And he said that groups are not important. He said Mr. Twingalang Muiva, Mr. Kitovi Zimomi, they must unite, or they must also unite for the sake of the Naga people and the Naga cause. Don't go away. I'll be right back and go straight to Mr. Chuba Uzukum for his comments on the issue. I don't have very much time, but I'll come back as soon as possible after this very, very short break. Welcome back. I am running out of time. Welcome back. Let me go to Mr. Chuba Uzukum. Mr. Chuba Uzukum, you know, even the groups need to unite. That's what Mr. Temjin Imna Along is saying. Even the groups, even the Naga groups there is need for them to unite. Hello? Mr. Chuba Uzukum? Mr. Chuba Uzukum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So, if Mr. Temjin Imna Along is saying that even there is need for the groups to unite.
Yes, that is 100% true. All the groups should be united. Not only the political groups, but even the civil society, different groups of people who are actively involved on this issue should also be united, as Aldo has rightly pointed out in the beginning. The only problem is we are hopelessly divided. When the civil societies, the different tribes, they don't have arms and ammunition in their hands. But when they cannot come together and work hand in glove, how can we expect our people who are having, arms and ammunition in their hands can come easily united and work together? Because they have different ideologies.
Right.
Someone is for A,
Right.
someone is for B, someone
Right.
is for C.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Final.
Everyone should, leave aside his own vested interest.
Right,
and
right,
come
right,
together
Mr. Chuba
in the
Uzukum.
peace interest of the Naga people.
Everybody should unite. Final comments, 20 seconds to you, Miss Dr. Rosemary Zuvitsu. How would you like to end? What is that one thing that you'd like to tell?
Definitely looking forward to a
another few
political
seconds?
solution, not a settlement. I don't think that's going to happen, but a solution to these decades of uncertainty. I think we deserve it.
Mr. Azonino, final comment?
I already told you, government of India does not have the political will. So nothing will happen. In spite of all the pressures we give, nothing will happen.
You can't be so pessimistic. You cannot be pessimistic. You cannot be pessimistic. The world survives on hope. And 27 years the Nagas have negotiated, and the Nagas are prepared to negotiate it for any number of time until they get a solution. Final comments,
Okay.
Mr. Temjin Imna Along, last word. Mr. Temjin Imna Along, last word, 20 seconds. Final comment, Temjin. Okay, there is, I don't get the audio of Temjin, no audio. Okay, so I'm sorry, I cannot bring you the last words from Temjin Imna Along. Can you hear me? No. No. So, on the whole, basically the conclusion is that the panelists today, they are one in saying that the talks should be elevated to a political level. Since it is a political dialogue, only a cabinet minister level political negotiator or an interlocutor will understand the sentiments of the Nagas, understand the nuances better, and give a push. And the ball, of course, everybody agrees, is in the center's court. And what Mr. Ajo Neno and Mr. Temjen Imna Along is saying that and Mr. Chuba Azukum has agreed is that even the Naga groups need to unite for the sake of the Nagas. And Mr. Ajo Neno has come up with his own suggestion. That's what he has disclosed in this show tonight, that he has suggested that all the 26 groups, many of them, most of them without a ceasefire, they must also be invited by the Political Affairs Committee. Mr. Temjen Imnalong, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Dada.
Final 10 seconds to you. Final word. Final word. क्या बोलोगे?
Wasbir the 20 or 26 group हो या ना हो, नागा पॉलिटिकल सेटलमेंट चाहिए. NSNIM का मुइवा के साथ बात करना है, NSCN-U का खेतों के साथ बात करना है, बाकी को लेके आना है, सेटलमेंट करना है, because the younger generation of Nagas need to live in prosperity without fear, without problems. That's my only request.
Thank you, thank you. On that note, I end this edition of Northeast Tonight. I thank from the core of my heart all the panelists for giving their time and the viewers for watching the show. Good night and goodbye.